majority of what I'm about to say is probably a result of my dopamine receptors being absolutely fried, but I suppose the simplest way to put it is that the slop is just ain't hitting like it used to. From music to movies to television shows, food, tech, apps, clothing, content, everything we see, we hear, we taste, we touch, and smell. Basically, all that we experience in our little cozy flesh prisons has gotten significantly worse over a very short period of time. And not only are we expected to ingest it, but also enjoy it as well. And then add on to that all the rise of the generative AI just non-stop pumping out even more useless, pointless slop that then just mixes in to all the other slop and just muddles everything up. And it feels like there's nothing we can really do about it to stop it. You might be watching this video right now and you don't even know if I'm real, if what I'm saying has been generated by AI, if this entire account is actually fake and just a figment of your imagination, if I'm not real, I'm just created by some machine. You don't even know. It is the bread and circus era of the falling empire, except neither are free. It's gotten so bad that we're at the point where there isn't even anything worth pirating anymore. Perhaps a decade ago or even less, the quality of the slop, or maybe the reception to the slop was slightly better, or maybe we actually just had other aspects in our lives that we looked forward to, we enjoyed. We had an idea of where our lives were headed, where our country was headed, what the future looked like. And then all of a sudden, the entire facade was revealed, the curtain was pulled back, and the truth exposed that every facet of our modern life is rotten to the core and exists to exploit us and, wring out every last possible crumb from us. The corporations want to siphon our last penny, an ounce of labor from us. Our government doesn't give a rat's ass about us. In fact, they're shooting us in the street now. They don't give a crap about improving our lives in any shape or form. And at the end of the day, what do we get in return? For holding up this crumbling empire? What is our consolation prize? Stranger Things season 5 and a box of boneless wings from Wingstop that cost $50 off DoorDash that we will pay off in 4 installments on Klarna instead of overdrafting our checking account. If you're gonna steal my personal data and monitor my every move, the least you can do is provide me with some decent slop to keep me distracted. That's the least you could do. Come on. Even YouTube and Instagram and soon to be TikTok, once the joint acquisition goes through, have become this kind of monotonous watching experience. I'm not saying that there aren't any great content creators or original creators or whatever, but that the algorithm pushes a certain type of content or promotes a specific blueprint that eventually becomes successful, and then everyone is forced to adapt to it or just fall off and just disappear into the depths of the algorithm. And I've seen many artists with original ideas and formats just struggling to get views and break through all the noise, and many of them eventually just give up or stop because they just can't afford to continue. Even now, just the mere idea of making a decent living, not even becoming a millionaire, not becoming Mr. Beast or whatever, but supporting yourself off of your art is becoming a imaginary scenario that existed in the past. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of watching the same thing over and over again, the same people, the same kind of cookie cutter mold of who should be a celebrity, or these kind of robot factory type people that are unoriginal and don't have any opinions and don't have any political views, are just I'm not into that. Hey, I don't support both sides. I don't support any sides. I'm just right down the middle. That's boring. You're boring. Okay? I want someone loud. I want something new. I want something different. I want something that feels exciting again. Part of me believes that the algorithm did kill art in a way. It killed discovery, natural discovery. It killed this kind of randomness, it feels like. and it only rewards engagement and conformity and time spent, interaction rate, KPIs, all that numbers stuff, but it doesn't care for originality or expression or abstractionism or all the things that kind of make art what it is, that kind of make art important, because art is a reflection of the time of what's going on. And it feels like when you're going through these apps, half the time you're seeing, everything's fine, everything's chill, everyone's having a great time, all this, the life you want to be living, the life you should be living. Look how great my mansion, all my wealth is. Rich people who rich right, all this stuff. And then the other half is just death, bombs, destruction, cover-ups, FBI cover-ups, crooked politicians, and you're like, what happened here? I don't know. It's bizarre. Back to the algorithm thing. The idea of being discovered for your art or your content or whatever without having to conform to the expected standard or sacrifice a part of yourself or your work or your privacy in order to please the algorithm is kind of equivalent to winning the lottery at this point. Is this insatiable machine that just constantly needs to be fed. So naturally, obviously, it focuses on rewarding quantity over quality, because quality is subjective. We may have different ideas on what makes good content, but the machine doesn't have any opinions. It only understands numbers. So when a bunch of people like it or share or this or that, then it promotes it and people make money off of it, and then other people see that person was successful off that, so then they copy it, and then this, that, and then it creates this whole chain, almost like a pyramid scheme of people just copying each other, and the last person to join the game loses. And meanwhile, everyone else outside of the pyramid is just trying to find some way to get the algorithm to promote their videos, someone to see their thing. It's sad, because I remember when the internet used to be fun, when it used to be wild. I grew up in a time where I was on Tumblr when I was in high school, in end of 8th grade kind of, and that's where I spent a lot of time on there, and I learned how to almost mood board and create and discover my own taste and what I was into. And within the short span that I was on Tumblr, I went through a bunch of different phases of what I was into, and then finally found something that was kind of who I am now in a way, or influenced who I am now. But without that, then I wouldn't know what to do or who I was or what I was into. I would just be seeing what was on my feed. That was how I would define my personality or my identity, was just picking what videos were fed to me and being like, oh, I like that one, or I like that one, and oh, I want to dress like that, I like that person. But how do you find more people if you are constantly fed things by the machine based on what it thinks you want or based on what other people like? But what if you don't really like all the things that other people like? How are you just assuming that we're all the same? After a while, it starts to get boring, because I feel like I've seen the same video 100 times, maybe 100 million times at this point. I don't even know. And back in the day, 1 million views, 1 million followers, that used to be insane. That used to be unheard of to get. You would end up on Ellen. You would end up on national TV if you got 1 million views. And now it's random people that you meet on the that 16-year-old kids at a gas station or something have 500,000 followers, or I don't know, people from Brazil that have 50 million followers. The numbers are so big now that it doesn't even matter. The numbers aren't even real anymore. How do you even know if 50 million real people actually follow you? It's all fake. It's all gotten out of control. It's too crazy now. I'm not going to go too deep in about the whole AI bubble and the theory surrounding the whole AI replacing us, but what I will say is that I am definitely tired of hearing about it. I don't know how many ads I get day in, day out on YouTube, on Google, on anything at this point, where AI is just being shoved down my damn throat from every angle. It's like every single company has suddenly been mandated to use AI for something, and regardless of whether or not it makes sense. I mean, the thing about AI is that even top of the line companies like Coca-Cola and the bottom of the barrel scams, trying to sell me on Tai Chi training, are both using AI in their advertisements. So now, whenever I see a clearly AI commercial in my, on my feed or whatever, my mind instantly thinks that it's a scam. Even if it isn't. The mere use of and association with AI cheapens the whole image, the brand, everything. And I don't know if it's just me or not, but the reaction I get to AI is anger. I get angry. It feels like someone is trying to trick me into believing something is real when it clearly is fake. Like the sole purpose of this AI video is to simply extract money from me in the cheapest way possible. Especially when it's like an AI generated person or human doing things or talking to me as if they weren't robots. That really just pisses me off. Part of me can somewhat understand people who, defend AI as a tool to help with idea creation, formation, or simplifying certain things. Okay, sure. Yeah, I can see how it can be a useful tool to help speed up, even the creative process, something that I'm familiar with. Brainstorming, idea expansion, storyboarding, whatever. I don't know. Personally, I haven't found it to be that helpful, but hey, different strokes. Now, if that is true, and if you believe that AI is a step in the creative process and not the end result, why does it always seem to end up being the end result? Why am I being sold on an AI image or an AI commercial or an AI written piece? Why do I feel like I'm being coerced or convinced into liking and embracing AI? And if AI is, supposed to be embraced and this thing that's going to save us and, change our lives, and then why are so many like publications or companies or brands that use it hiding the fact that they do or ashamed of it? Why do they have to come out with an apology when they get caught using it? If a large cohort of the population is so against the use of AI and being forced to integrate it, then why are we still pushing for it? Like just to prop up this fake economy around it, that predicts that maybe at some point in the future it may potentially be worth something, but in our current time we have no clue if it will pay off, and the only way to ensure that it might is to just force everyone to use it now? Is this just a scam by Wall Street to keep pumping up their stock market so that the rich can just keep faking money into their accounts? Is that all it is? If it wasn't AI, would it be something else? I mean, for a while, I definitely think that virtual reality was being sold to us when nobody wanted that. It was terrible. And I don't even know if they're still trying to make that. But, it's that thing where it's like, why are they pushing this? It seems that a lot of people don't really want it. And most of the people that are using it to make fake Jesus, scam posts. Is that all it's good for? Because otherwise, it seems like it's kind of a burden. Like it makes everything more work as opposed to less. Okay, so I made it clear that I don't like the slop. Maybe you don't like the slop too. Hey, but what do we do to avoid the slop, okay? Do we go back to reading books? Do we go back to analog? Is that a thing? Because I've seen people trying to do this, and okay, let's say I want to read a book outside. I'm feeling like I want to connect with the world again. All of a sudden you get put on blast. Someone catches you reading in public. They post you online. Next thing you know, you're getting called corny and performative. Great. Okay, I guess I'm not reading books outside anymore. And then on top of that, if you want to even find the book, there's just a ludicrous amount of ChatGPT books popping up all over the place. And at the end of the day, who's to blame for this? Who do we string up in the town square? The algorithms? The malicious tech companies that created the algorithms? The government officials that receive kickbacks from the tech companies to pass or block certain laws? We, the audience, that consumes all of this mindlessly? I think as a society, we've kind of forgotten that things take time and that good things sometimes take a lot of time. Writing a screenplay, for example, is difficult. Writing a good screenplay is extremely difficult. Making a movie is not easy. Making a good movie is near impossible. But we find ourselves stuck on this timeline where there needs to be a constant stream of entertainment and content and everything else, no matter the cost. And at a certain point, the truth is that nothing is worth the wait anymore because we have no patience left to wait. I mean, our patience and our attention has been destroyed by being constantly bombarded with brain rot. Society that just has to continuously grow. The apps need you to stay on their platform, no matter the cost to quality or to you, really. They don't care about what's happening to your brain or your attention span. They just want you to keep watching the videos. And then they reward creators that make videos that make brain rot to just keep you there and constantly scrolling without even knowing how long you've been scrolling for, how many videos you just watched. It feels like we're in like an animal farm. Like I'm a pig stuck in like a cage and just being force-fed slop. But at what point do we realize the slop's not good? I don't want to eat the slop anymore. I want a nice steak dinner, you know? A nice filet mignon, mashed potatoes, cream spinach, slice of cheesecake at the end. That's what I want. But it's so rare to get that nowadays. And if you do find it, sometimes, and unfortunately this happens, that person, thankfully, at some point finds success. Great for them. But sometimes they find themselves changing all of a sudden. Like their personality, their character changes because now they found success and they have to perform a different character to be someone else. And you see that and you kind of disconnect with them. You're like, oh, well, you're not what I originally found and I fell in love with. And now you're performing this character, this fake facade of someone who you think you should be because you're in a different position now, you know? And it's sad because they lose their spark in a way. And their bark a little bit too, if you know what I mean. But not me. I've lost everything. Hey, I've lost it all. I'm a broken man. I'm a broken toy. But you know what? I'm living life. I'm having a good time. I think that's what matters at the end. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think what I'm really trying to say is that the slop is no longer successfully distracting me from the horrors of this world. From the wars, the death, the exploitation, the economic collapse, the housing crisis, unemployment rate. My eyes are open. My mind is no longer numb. My body aches and yearns for the life that was promised to me, you know, that was sold to me. A life worth living, in a way. A life, arguably, that older generations crossed oceans for and, you know, killed and died for. I want reality. I want real people making and doing real things in real life. I want to party with other human beings. I want to know what the human-minded body is capable of. And through that, I want to be inspired to push myself and to discover my own skills and talents and to explore my own imagination. I don't want the quick release of generative AI. I want the long edge of dedicating myself to a skill or a craft and watching that bloom into a successful career. I want to do something that makes me feel more human. Something that makes me feel that I'm living in this body, on this planet, at this very moment in time. I want to see, hear, interact with other human beings. Even if I may not agree with them, at least I know it's not a machine. And you know, at least I know I'm not losing my mind, that I'm not alone in this world. I don't want to feel like I'm useless, that I'm obsolete. I just want to live life and have a good time. But it just seems like everything's making it so much harder to have a good time nowadays. And these machines aren't helping. The machines that they said would make it easier for us is not making it easier for us. Classic move, huh? Classic elite cabal move. Am I right? Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. Live, laugh, love, have a good life, enjoy, be human, go outside, touch grass. You know what I mean? Anyways, love y'all. Subscribe, like, comment. See you next time.